Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Lieutenant Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. I'm sorry for the little problem I had when I first came on initially. My computer froze, so I had to go out and start my program all over again. So, here I am. Today is another day in the lives, in the survival of Liberian people in Liberia, respectively. Let me put up my lesson. My first topic today is witchcraft, Juju, unchristian beliefs and practices. 2, indigenous women versus former President Johnson-Sirleaf. And 3, descendants of Americo-Liberians, aka CONGO People Association. So, let's begin my lesson. Witchcraft, Juju, unchristian beliefs and practices rule Liberia today. We can see there are many problems we are facing today. And the main problem of Liberian people today is our convictions. What do we believe in? That's our problem. So, how do we deal with this problem? We have lost our Christian faith. We have lost our trust in government. We have lost our trust in the 3 branches of our entire government. Not only the executive, but the entire government. 3 branches. We have lost so much. And our country keep regressing. Look at how the people dying in our country every morning. Every morning, there's news of death now. Why? Because of lawlessness. We lost our convictions in our laws, in the Constitution. We lost our convictions in our social organizations, our socialization processes that's supposed to impact the lives of our children, their upgrowing, their education, their indoctrinations. All these things we have lost. All these things are a problem for us today. Why? Because we have lost our senses of decency, our senses of respectfulness, not only for ourselves, but for our Constitution, our country, and our people. Look at how our young children talk to elders, how they come out here and insult everybody. That's unbecoming. That's un-Liberian. That's un-Americo-Liberian. Let me put it that way. Because the government we have now is a tribal government of native Liberian people. And this problem has existed in our tribal communities as well as our Congo communities for too long. And it has kept us divided. It has kept us ununited. It has directed us in directions that are abhorring to human decency, rights, and existence. So we have lost a lot. And I'm sorry I came on late this morning because, as you can see, my computer kept slowing down. When those things happen to me, I say it's Jesus Christ want me to come on the time he thinks is right for me. So perhaps this is the right time for me to come up and talk to my Liberian people and to tell them why we need to change. Either through education, resurrection, enhancement of our ideals of what Liberia's constitution, public policies, and these things that matter, that make our country a wholesome, functioning society, is non-existent. So here we go. These are some of the things we're missing. We're missing a national agenda. And I keep telling my Liberian people, we need to sit a diverse group of educated, enlightened Liberians and lay out a 10-year plan for any leader that comes to power in Liberia. Because we have a problem with illiteracy. We have a problem with corruption. We have a problem with incompetence. We have a problem with nepotism that don't promote good leadership, governance, and prospects for better futures of our people. So we need to address all these things. We need to sit down and set an agenda for the three major things we need in Liberia right now: health, education, and roads. Those are the three major developmental failures of our people since 1980. Why? Because JFK existed. We had a fairly good and decent health system throughout our country. Yes, there were problems, but we had the people, competent people. Our system was emerging and growing bigger and bigger. I slept in JFK Hospital during Turbo time. And when I came to America, I can't tell the difference between how American hospitals are and what Liberia JFK was during Turbo's time. That was a major international hospital, up to international standards. Then we have Phoebe Hospital in Banga. That was this hospital for our central locations. Perhaps in other places they had clinics and things, but Phoebe Hospital was one of the major hospitals for mid-Liberia and all the regions near it. So all of these things impugn our abilities and our desires to have a better nation. Because even if we had 2 or 3 major hospitals in Banga, one in the southeast, one in the west, we need 3 major hospitals. So even if we have those, or one in Erie County, we need roads. How our people will access the hospitals and the health care they need when they don't have no roads. The roads are unconducive, deplorable. Since Tottenham time, since the founding of Liberia, we have had problems going through our country. And we expect development. That alone stalls, stagnates development. When you can mobilize your forces, your people, developmental projects of our government up country, we can't access them because of bad roads. People dying up country will be stuck on the road for 2-3 hours or all day trying to push the car out of the mud. And you got all these trucks and things standing there behind each other, waiting to go be pushed out of the mud. How long will we live like this? How long? We thought the native administration was going to do better for our country. We thought they were going to do better for Liberian people. Why? Because they were led by the progressives from Talbot administration. They incited the progressives, incited Simon Doe and the army to overthrow Talbot, to kill the Congo people. Then, from then to this day, we have not developed. We had development without progress and advancement, stagnation. And this is where our country has been since 1980. So Talbot met two of the most significant things we need in Liberia: healthcare, education. Talbot was successful in that. But since Talbot, everything has broken down. Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf was the mastermind from 1980 of the coup, of the killing of Doe and Kuambak, of the 1990 Civil War with General Charles Taylor. Then after Charles Taylor and Ben and I took over the country, when they were fighting, she found that Charles Taylor had no connection with her no more. She started breaking up her warlords into different factions. So, and in the end, we had hardly any educated people in Liberia because everybody had left. Only Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, who was a one-eyed giant among the deceitful, useless, educated Liberians in Liberia today, and our native people who are just blind to everything and only do what the native people tell them. They forsake their allegiance and oath to Liberia because they don't have no knowledge, because they are illiterate, because they can't understand what unity, integration, progress, and advancement mean. They can't. So they depend on their children who are educated to help them. And their children come home with nothing but desires to hustle our government for themselves. This has been the trend of native people since 1980. Ellen Johnson came. She found that she couldn't fix the country, that she didn't have the ability to deal with Liberian men, that the men stuck to their cultural core and challenged Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf. So what she did, she got reluctant, she got discouraged, she lost her vision for Liberia. Why? Because she had none. She had none. She told us, break the country and bomb the marshal, I will fix it. Our country still hasn't fixed it. I listened to young Martina Connected talking, and she was talking about Ellen Johnson too. She said they want her to bomb the marshal now And she didn't even build the mansion up again. 12 years. The one couldn't even build the mansion. She misled us to kill our leaders, overthrow our government, put us into this mess we are in today. And she still want to control Liberian people. So we got 3 objectives and 1 enemy, Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, her children, her families, and their warlords. They are holding our country and people hostages. Our indigenous leaders had no concept of how to get rid of Ellen. They are afraid because they touch that Congo woman, they fear America will come flock all of them. But not America, I'm coming to flock you and put Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf in jail, put her children in jail. We investigate every one of her family. Any one of them stole, they go into jail. And this is how we run a government. We set standards and precedents that have not been set from the founding of Liberia. We have dealt on for peace sake because we have been afraid of each other, because of the hatred, the evil that have existed in Liberia since its founding. How can the people for 100 years hate their own selves, want to destroy each other on tribal lines and foreign lines? Why? Why? Are we all just ignorant? Have we all just given up on decency, patriotism, loyalty? These are the challenging questions we face. Okay? The dreams of my grandfather to unite and integrate Liberian people still have not been achieved. Still have not been achieved to this very day. That's why I got to take the mantle of my grandfather to fulfill his dream for Liberian people, or set it on its rightful course that will be irreversible, because my country will be enlightened. Enlightened. Because we can lead our people. We are people who see vision, who see plans and agenda, and who have the ability to set them down from their minds to the paper in writing, so that all of us can understand it, appreciate it, and accept it. So this is what leading a country is all about. Using our minds and not our hands and muscles. No putty, no calope, no. Using our minds to protect and defend our people and nation, to advance our people's lives and nations. These are the things we're lacking in our country, and we have lacked them since 1980. And we have given chances to our indigenous people to change our country, but they can't change our country. They used to murder and bloodshed. They used the ritualistic killings of our people to enhance their political agendas in the country. And they just rape our women because Ellen Johnson set no standards for them, set no standards for Liberian men, had no concept of how to stop the mutilation of our women. Because all these things subject women to men. What do you think the purpose of female genital mutilation is? So that the men can control the women, so they can have no enjoyment in sex. And they will be only there for childbearing and raising, and cleaning the farm, and growing the rice, and all the kind of things. Those are the traditional jobs of indigenous Liberian women. We, the Congo people, brought light to our country. We had the first lawyer of Liberia, Angie Brooks Randall. Or Angie Randall Brooks, I can't remember all that thing. But she was our first ambassador to the United Nations. She became the first president, female, of the General Assembly. We've had female lawyers and leaders in Liberia among Black people. Why? Because Black women have always been very instrumental in the education, the development of our children, and their discipline to our cultural norms. So we have lost all these things. All our intelligent people gone from the country. Why? Because we have nothing but killers and murderers ruling our country. People who can't talk or read or write. People who are so ignorant and callous. They care nothing for the people's lives. They have no empathy for them, no sympathy. They are just pure criminals. And we can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. Unmatched stealing. No Congo people have stolen like these people. It is not intelligent stealing. That's just raw, outright stealing. And people know it and then say nothing. Outright murders at the hands of the president of Liberia, like Samuel Doe. We got Samuel Weah. The same people, tribal murderous leaders. These tribes are murderous people. It's in your gender and your culture to kill people, to have no problems killing people. What happened when Doe went and told the elders about the problem he was having with the PRC, his own group? What they say? Kill them. Yeah, that was the elders' advice to Doe, kill them. And you see where it got him? You see where it got him? So we live in a nation of people who have criminal nature, inhuman ways of dealing with problems. You having a problem with your leader, you just tell the leader, go kill him. Huh? Look at even in Congo Brazzaville, the rumble in the jungle with Clay and Mike Tyson. What happened? What did people in Congo were yelling? Clay, Boomaka, 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 kill. Clay, kill your opponent. This is a beating move. This is a knocking out. This is a killing. Because of the only word in some of our languages for resolving problems with other people. Boomaya, kill them, wipe them up. That is the same problem we have with the Congo people. And I will get to that. But so we have lived in a state of criminal impunity for too long. And somebody got to pay. Precedents have to be set. Officials got to go to jail. So our people know that we have law and order. We have precedents above all. So they can't say we got to go to America, or we got to go to British law, or we got to go to French law for precedents. No. It will be set in stone. And people will have a good judiciary of enlightened people who will lay down the laws and they will not change. First of all, Liberian people, not people to just change the law like that. We're not people to just turn against our leadership like that. But it has been proven time and time again that our leadership, our leaderships have failed us, have thought about themselves above their oath or oaths to the Liberian people, constitution and laws. They place themselves and their family above it. Okay? So this is the first part of my lesson. We got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. We have to understand that you cannot mix Christianity with Juju and Voodoo. You can't. That's why we suffer continuously, because we want to practice Christianity, but we want to mix it with our Juju religion, and it makes the white people happy. It makes the white Christians happy. Why? Because we never overcome any white society mixing Juju and Christianity together. You can't. You will always be subject to some kind of inferiority, some kind of rejection, some kind of debts that you can't account for. You don't know why. But why we gotta go through this thing over and over again? So my children, this is the challenge we have. Are we going to be Christians? Are we going to be Liberians? Or are we going to follow Juju and intermix it with Christianity that will get us nowhere but damnation and death? Then we wonder why the white people so intelligent. Because you got three kind of white people. You got the Christians, you got the atheists, and you got the agnostics, people who don't believe in anything. They just existing. Okay? The atheists are the people who don't believe in God at all. The agnostics believe in something, but they don't take it personal. They don't invest their time in it. It's just there. Yes, it's there. If it's right, if it's bad, it's there. And that's how Christianity has been maintained by most of the people among the white people, among the white race. So they got three groups. Every group know what they got to do. Among white people, they know what they got to do. They stick to their religion. They stick to the traditions of law and order, decency, civilized living, humanity. If we can emulate those same practices for our people and get the worst things from American society to take home, gay rights, prostitution, corruption of minors with impunity. It's been going on from time immemorial. So, I mean, you hear about rusted man having sex with a 7-year-old girl. That's traditional. That's traditional. Why? Because men in their seniors can come and marry little baby girls just coming out of the bushes. They can come and pay their dowry, 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 10-year-old. So what will prevent them from raping a 7-year-old baby? But these are the things we suffer because we have lost our Christianity. I'll be right back. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Sounds Liberia's indigenous women versus former President Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf. She was the big deceiver of Liberian women. She said she came to uplift Liberian women. Look at the situation of our women today, Liberian people. Are our indigenous women uplifted? Have the lives and submission of our women to the wills and desires of their men changed? Have our men been taught to respect women and their rights? To give them the opportunity to rise in government as every other Liberian with similar merits, track records of honesty and trustworthiness. Where have we failed? Where have we failed? Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf took care of one set of women, her family women, the Congo women. Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf is not Americo-Liberian. She is Congo. Ellen's father is German. She can't be Americo-Liberian. So she's just a Congo woman because of her mother, who was Liberian. So that's why we don't like for mulattoes to serve in the two top positions of our government, president and vice president, because our nation was founded by Negro people. Those two leadership positions, the president and vice presidency, are reserved for people who will maintain our Negro heritage, leadership, and freedom to rule our nation as we want. Because without that, we lose everything. We lose everything. And that's why Ellen Johnson feels so miserable. That was she a nepotistic woman. That was she a witch and corrupt woman. Because she left our country in the hands of gangsters and robbers and warlords. Why would she do that? You tell me. Why would somebody take a progressive nation as she had made Liberia and set us on the course to change? Because during her first administration, she brought in competent Liberians. But they all started to leave. Why? Because of Ellen Johnson's children and her family. Why do you think all the people left Liberia? They ostracized them. They blocked them in everything they wanted to do. And this is where we are today. This is where we are today. And Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf is a part and parcel of the destruction, the regression, and the crimes against Liberian women and children today. Ellen Johnson is responsible for that because she got tired. She said, oh, I can't change it, so let it just stay. She dropped the ball. After stealing millions and millions of dollars with her children, she dropped the ball on us and gave us to a native criminal, or useless rogues who brought in other useless rogues of footballers. Can these people lead our country? And indigenous people still running behind these people, talking about they will change, they will change. And that's why some of us got to step back from you now. This is insanity. This is unrealistic. You see the people killing you, eating you, stealing you, and you still talking about your native people? We can't condone this thing because we are not part of that kind of culture. Killing, eating people, have no compassion or empathy or sympathy for your own people, raping anything you can put your penis in. These people have no decency. They treat their women any kind of way. And Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf came to change that. And she deceived the Liberian people. She deceived us. Instead of fixing an institution to uplift Liberian women. She brought in Liberian colloquium so she can set up a useless foundation to go do politics in Africa. Have women, Liberian women, instead of attending to the needs of our people, instead of seeking to educate and uplift our people, instead of using that money from the colloquium to do things for Liberian women that will spread to other African nations. They get up and say they're going to do, they're going to oversee election in Nigeria and Ghana and East Africa. And we got the greatest problems of all those people. Our people died because of those same people, because of the same ideals. And what did Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf do? She did nothing for her women. Now that colloquium is still in Liberia there, run by my sister. I don't know what kind of mission they got. But I kept telling my sister from the time this thing was formed, I said, you're misleading our people. I told her that. I said, our people cannot be suffering and dying. Then you run it all over Africa talking about you doing secure election for women in other countries. What happened to the women in our country? Now you see how they fail us? They see enlightenment of other women in Africa. They come home and forget us and neglect our women. Then they say they go around to ensure that women have political rights in other countries in Africa. You got the right in your same country. Then you go see if other people got it right. Our women are prevented from voting today. The country devil is being used against our women because that is the native way. Since they can't silence them, the American-Liberian way or the civilized way in the courts, and by competing against them, instead of that, they use the country devil. They use all kind of things to run people out of the town so only their people can vote. Especially the women. No woman can come out with the country devil up. Men self can't come out. You know how many times I've been locked up in Banga because the country devil coming? My people got farm in Banga. We been going there from Sunday time was small. So I know about our country devil and our roots in our country. And these things have impeded and still impeding the progress and advancement, upliftment, enlightenment of Liberian women. I ain't talking about those women and my sister them who would have designed their hair and dress up all kind of fancy way. I'm talking about our women who still carrying water on their heads, who still carrying buckets on their head, who still being raped in the butchers and in the villages and sat on the road dead. Look at that little girl that died the other day, sitting on the road. They killed the woman and left her there with her head between her legs. What kind of people would do that kind of thing? What kind of people would do that kind of thing? At least with Congo people, they either shoot you or do something with you. If they try to hide it, I never got a report of a Congo man setting a woman on the road. But we used to do these things on the war. When the tribal uprising came about in 1980 with Samido, it led us into war. Because the 16 tribes have never led themselves. The 16 tribes have never amalgamated as one. The 16 tribes are totally divided and individual tribal nations unto themselves. So every tribal person that come there don't care about the other tribal person. They just care about their tribe. That's why they want to make Liberia into a tribal nation where every president will come from a different tribe. Every president will come from... That's why we got to come back. And Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf neglected Liberian people. And not only she and her other Congo useless native, so-called native people, Burma family, Tubana Chipote, Sawyer, Amos Sawyer, Parker's Matthew, all these guys were problems. Yes, Parker Matthew did enlighten our people a little bit. But because of a desire to take power and rule Liberia, he led them to overthrow the Toba government. After the Toba government has submitted to the wills and pleasure of the opposition, they have formed, Toba formed the first independent party other than the True Party in Liberia, which was Parker's Matthew then party. But they didn't want it. Toba promised that after his term, he not run again. They didn't want it. They wanted him to come down now. How do you bring a legitimate president of the Republic of Liberia down by force? You can't do it. Even now, we were telling you, no war, strike, protest, sit home. But you got to take some kind of action against corrupt leaders. But I will not steer you wrong and tell you to go get killed in the streets. I tell you, stay home. Nobody go to work. Everybody just said, now what did you come to your houses and beat you up and make you go to work? See how successful that plan would be. But we can't be inactive. We cannot do things for peace sake no more. That was the tribal way. That's why there is no discipline in our country. Everything is for peace sake. We got to break out of our peace for peace sake and punish Liberian people. And punish, but we got to do it right. We got to do it with sensibility, not the way they try to arrest the NEC bosses the other day, the election commissioner. No, those are respectful and responsible people. If those people are going to jail, Darrell Dillon never going to get shit for the rest of their life. You can't put intelligent, dignified people in jail for some foolishness the corrupt, useless government is the cause of. You can't do that. Our government is corrupt. Nothing goes on time in Liberia. Just show me one thing that goes on time. So if Darrell Dillon want to make changes, he got to understand what kind of changes he can make to maintain peace in Liberia and what kind of changes are necessary for disciplining Liberian people. And that's shenanigans they did against the NEC were pure BS, immaturity, misunderstanding of the laws and their positions as legislators. You think in America, people will put Donald Trump children in jail easy like that? No. They got to investigate them. That's what they're doing now. They got to find out where the crime is or are and set legal arguments for prosecuting them that will be unshaken and ensure that they go to jail, be flogged, and go to jail for their lives. But when we keep flip-flopping, we don't know decency. We don't know civility. We don't know Christian living. Then we say we're Christians, still using Juju. It can never raise us to the Christian standards of Jesus Christ. We fail time and time again. Time and time again. That's why I saw people, all my life, I see people going their way for Juju, going that way for Juju. I said, no. I'm an educator. I can't believe in Jesus. And he tell me, say, trust no other gods but me. Then I go say, I'm African. I'm deceiving myself. You're a dummy. That's why I had to take a step back. I said, no. If I'm educated, if I believe in Jesus, and if I want Jesus to work in my life, he has told me I can't have no other gods. I can't even stand in the Muslim temple when the Muslim people are praying. I can't. That is against Christianity. And despite the fact that I'm a leader of the Republic of Liberia, I cannot enter other people's temple while they are praying. After they stop praying, after they're in a relaxed mood, I can come there as a leader and talk to them. I'm not a Muslim. I will not enter any sanctuary of Islam or the teaching of Islam. So we have to understand our Christianity. People say, oh, he's the leader, yeah, he can go among the Muslim. No. Toba spoke in the mosque. He never worshipped there. So we have to understand our leadership. You can't stay in the midst of Muslims and say you're praying. What kind of prayer you praying? The people yelling out to God in one voice, and you just standing up there talking about Christianity. You know, that's a bogus, nonsensical nonsense. You can't be in the midst of people while they're praying. The people calling to their God. What you want to be in the midst of them for? Standing up while they're kneeling down and praying, that disrespect to the people first of all. The people kneeling down praying, and you standing in the midst of them talking about you praying to Jesus Christ. They should have thrown your ass out of that building. But the people self don't know any better. Have that Darius Dillon standing over them while they're kneeling down praying to their Almighty God. And you see, even if you're not a Muslim, you got to respect the Muslim people because they follow the same God of Abraham. Yes, they are not Christians because our paths to Jesus and God are different than the Muslims, than the Buddhists, than all the other people. Our paths to God rest in Jesus Christ. Without Jesus Christ and us believing that he's the Son of God who died on the cross to save our soul, we'll never access heaven through Jesus Christ. We got to find some other means. Through Jesus Christ, we're going to see God. Because Jesus Christ made the ultimate sacrifice for us. He gave his life. He shed his blood for our sins. So those who believe in Jesus Christ, hopefully, no mixing with other gods or anything, Jesus got to respond to you. Because you are not adulting Thomas. You don't have to see to believe. You got to feel it to believe. You got to be a part of it. Wholly. Entirely. You see? Because right now, as I've converted to Christianity, I ain't no born again Christian. I'm a warrior. I ain't going to be no born again Christian like you people. I'm a warrior of the realm of Jesus Christ. My life is different from yours. My life is different. That when Jesus was ready, he put me in the army. He made me go there. Because from small, I've been told I'm a soldier. Now I've accepted that I'm a Christian soldier in the army of the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm not a Christian to bow and fall over and be carrying Bible in my hand, singing, yeah, you're all day in the church, clapping their hands, staying there for 4 hours. I'm not that kind of Christian. When I say my prayers and talk to my God in the morning, it's finished. I used to go to church, but right now we got to reevaluate our churches in America and in Liberia because they have enslaved my people for too long. And then they're using these pseudo lies and perpetrating racism and race supremacy against my people. That's a problem. That's not Christianity. That's not even the semblance of Christianity. That is demonic. And you got to accept it. It's demonic. Don't want to kill your own people and leader because you lost an election and you bitter and mean to be a loser and you want to kill your own people. That's insanity. And that's what happened in our country. That's what Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf did to our country, and she still wants to do it. She wants to come and appoint leader again. After she screwed up with George Weah, she wants to come and appoint another screw up. Can you imagine that? We can't accept that. Recircling of criminals, warlords. Is that what our government for? Is that a thing we believe in truly? People just stealing from us. No national agenda to fix our country up. They're just doing things, reacting to situations. No visionary thoughts or thinking, insight, understanding. Then we say we leaders of Liberia. Y'all can't be. Y'all can't be. Let me take a drink of my thing, then I'll be back. I'll be going over my lesson.
That's right.
Descendants of Americo-Liberians, aka CONGO People Association. For 200 years, we have been a divided people. For 200 years, CONGO people or Americo-Liberian have maintained our country as a neutral group of people because we bought our country for our freedom and liberties, and we expanded it to include other Liberians. Although they were not permitted in the capital city, not because they were forced to stay out, but because they had no concept of Americo-Liberian leadership. From time immemorial, from the first coming of the African Americans and buying the land, then the Africans coming back and trying to claim the land we bought, we have fought. There has been bad feelings. There have been evil done to each other. So we can't blame it on the Congo people alone. So the Congo people did this. And those are the lies you'll keep perpetuating that consistently cause indigenous people to hate my people, to want to ostracize us from the society, for thinking that Liberia is for them and not for us. That is a country people nation at that time. No, that's my nation. My people born my country. We have rights, inherent rights in the Republic of Liberia that we're not going to give up. Me, you ain't going to force me to be no tribe or to be in any tribe that I don't want to be in, or to say I'm a native man when I'm not, deceiving my Congo people, deceiving my fathers and mothers who died that I may live. That's how we are so deceitful people. And that's what Congo people can shake no move in Liberia now. They got to join the party, be corrupt and useless. Look at Benin, Nigeria. Look at Elliot Cummings. He can't do nothing in Liberia. Useless people. Benin, Nigeria is a rogue. Elliot Cummings is a useless Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf supporter. And maybe even a warlord, a war supporter. Barker, well, just forget about Barker. So here we are. Bad governance, the same Congo country hatred, no progress or advancement in our country, stagnation, because our indigenous people never accept that Western education. Every time we offer the people education, they refuse it because it was coming from the Congo people. In Americo-Liberia, they didn't want it. They didn't want Western education. They wanted to stick to the traditional oral societies. Now here we are, they're blaming us now for taking all the educated positions and leaving them out. When Chutman used to be beating people to go to school, open boys' town to put the wayward children there so they can get an education. Their parents took them from there to go to the farm. They ran away. They couldn't stand the Western education. Now they want to lead our country, take a dummy and put him there to be president. Now he thinks he's a king of Liberia, a native king. This is our land. No native people can be king in our land. Our land is a democratic nation, the voice of Black people in the world. All African nations follow our example because we were a nation for nearly a century, because before Africans started to be free in other African nations, from the British, French, German, Dutch, all the kind of thing enslaved us. We have a great legacy that my people built. My people founded the League of Nations with the white people, the United Nations with the white people. We freed the Jews with the white people. So y'all don't understand the greatness of what my people have done for my nation. So since you're so blind and dummy and think your native way of living will be accepted in the Western world, that you will come to meetings and people hotel with your pots and pans and cooking store and all the things to cook in the people hotel and things like that. No, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. You see how Liberian people living in America? They got certain way to live. The people can inspect their houses. You got children with their finger all over the things, so there's oil and gravy on the wall. People not stand up and put their foot all on the wall. You know, everybody leaning on the wall. The wall's supposed to be white, now it's brown. You can't tell whether it's white from brown. You know, you go Liberia, you give the people your underwear to wash. Just because it's not brown, they say, oh, sorry, it's not dirty. It's not dirty. Yeah, why? Oh, it's not brown yet. Your underwear got to be brown before you wash it. You know how many days that take? Wearing the same underwear? All your sweat and brown. Where do you think the dye come from? Where do you think the brownness come from? You people go to the latrine, you don't clean yourself. You just get up and put on your trousers and walk out. Huh? I've seen it all. I'm a CEO. I see many cracks and what is kept up in those cracks. And some of them make you want to vomit. So these are the things we're living on. Even the decency for men putting lime under their arm to stop the sin. They can't even think about that. They don't even think about bathing. How many times you bathe? And you soap, not just put water on your skin. The soap had to clean you and give you fragrance. You see? No insecurity. No justice in the country. Look at what everybody complaining about Samuka now. Look at everybody complaining about the election commission and all these things. Look at how the people just die in our country. Look at how Boto, that woman in Bapolo, who they denied her rights. They used the devil to scare her out of the town. Then when she took the box, they won't punish her for it too. So they rip the woman people. They sick the country devil on her. Then they won't charge her for taking the ballot box and running. The woman wanted to ensure that nobody's going to steal those ballots or add more ballots there. That was her only defense to keep her election. You rip the woman people. You rip the women supporters. Beat them during an electoral process. Then you say that honesty and decency, that's insecurity. How will come on to live in a nation with no security? Our president Tell the poor people who ain't even got money to eat to buy CCTV and put it on their houses. He meant rich people, but he doesn't know the poor people going through the worst problem than the rich people. Rich people can afford CCTV to protect themselves. The poor people can't. So they can break into a house, kill them, rob them, rape them, and do everything with impunity. Because Liberia is in utter darkness. The new lights they put up, the people don't even know how to put up lights good. They don't even know how to do anything decent and timely. You know, they're cheap and mediocre just to steal. They don't want to spend the money to build things that will last our country 1,000 years. But instead of that, they go get all these cheap things, build all these cheap roads, and our native people jumping up just how they jump up when they killed those 13 people in April, rejoicing over stupidness, rejoicing over their own demise, rejoicing over their own sufferings, because they are too blind to see anything good. Why? Because their own people keep them illiterate, to control them, keep them in a native culture so they can understand the Western world, so they can be the one explaining to them and lying to them and getting them to spend their money on them instead of the government. These people just thief our native people. How long will we go on with that? Now, they have no shelter from crimes, no shelter from rapes, no shelter from needless killing with impunity of the masses of our people. Just kill them, ritualistic killing, kill them. Now, the president of Liberia is guilty of 3 murders. He has not confronted the people because of these murders. 2 auditors died. The president come and tell us they were lovers and they killed each other. And that was a lie. He killed them. 3 children missing. They haven't found them yet. And George Weah spoke with the family and knows and admitted that he has the children. So where are the missing children? Nensua died. The Auditor General of Liberia. Nobody punished for his death. No investigation to satisfactorily meet the mandate of law and order and justice. Look at our auditors just dying one by one everywhere. Look at how the people just killing Liberian people. Look how the man killed up his own security and talking about suicide. You shot the man 3 times, then you say suicide. You know, this is just criminal and bad. So we got to come back and take our country over. We got to come back. We don't have to rule Liberia, but we'll make sure we separate ourselves from the criminals and the bandits. So everybody who live where we live, we have free education, free hospital care, free job. They will have jobs to do. They will eat free because we have food pantries and hot kitchens all over the place for our people who ain't got money. When they get up, they go there, drink a cup of coffee, eat a little bread and butter. That's all the people want to sustain. They don't want no big meal or anything. But 2 times a day, people in my area will be short of a meal. Twice a day, 2 times, you eat good in the morning and lunchtime. We got rice. We got country rice. We got cassava, potato greens, and all that kind of. Wow, what kind of money I would spend so much to keep a pantry open, a food pantry or food cafeteria free of charge for the people in the neighborhood. But you know, we'll protect our people. Everybody in the vicinity that we live in, we have ID cards. You show your ID card that you live in that vicinity, you ain't getting nothing from us. Outsiders not getting nothing from us. You're not a Christian, you don't believe in Jesus Christ, You want to practice your juju? Stay on yourself. Our area will be clean, decent. We have our own security. And let's see who will stop us. Let's see who will stop us from having our own armed security. We have our own police force. Nobody separate but equal. Because you won't live in nastiness. Feces running all through your country. I can't come back to that. So me and my people got to come back and set examples of leadership for our people to learn. I don't want to live in my world where I'm going off country. I've been in my compound in Banga. That's where I'm going to live. And I can tell you, everybody around me will eat, drink, and enjoy, because the leadership that I will provide for my community will be better than the leadership of the entire Republic of Liberia. Just that a small environment, so I can show these native people what Congo people can do. That we are the masters of our own destiny. We are the captains of our faith. And we are Christians. We place no other gods before us. So when you see Congo people fail, when you see Congo people stealing and lying and being wicked and treacherous, they are practitioners of the dark art of voodoo or juju. Then they come and play under Jesus Christ, go to church, act like Christians. That cannot happen under the God I serve. My children, that's what we need, Congo people. And we got to form the Congo society. One, we have a defense and legal force. Nobody coming in there and messing with us. You touch one of us, you touch all of us. The government of Liberia can only deal with our people when you're outside our compound. You do things under our compound, they can arrest you. But when you're in our compound, they ain't going to touch you. They better know the law and order before they enter my compound. Because I'm flying American and Liberian flags. I am a Liberian American. So I will be protected by the United States government. So you come to my area. We have to deal with you. We have to deal with you. Because we are to protect ourselves. No law against defending and protecting ourselves. And we'll do that. We'll do that. God help us, we'll do that. We'll go back to the 1800s and defend ourselves against native invaders and treacherous people. Okay? We have our own schools. We're African Americans coming to teach our people. We have ample teachers that will be only for Congo people. We'll build our schools. We'll bring our own teachers. We ain't working for government. We'll bring our own American teachers that are appealing to them now to come home with us. To come home with us. So they can help us build our schools, build our churches, build our stadiums, build our everything in my community. And you ain't got ID card of being in the neighborhood, you ain't coming to our place to enjoy nothing. Okay? So I care about the people in my neighborhood. I will not live anywhere in Liberia and see the masses of people suffering and living in zinc houses and all those kind of things. When we can come together, put our heads together and build them a good, low-cost housing project for all of them so they don't have to live in the zinc and places where when the rain comes, they got to walk in feces-infested water and dirt. While we can't build a good compound for our people. We don't need government. If all of us come together and say we'll do it, we got the minds, we'll put the money together, we trust our leaders not to steal our money, to be men and women of their own making, not to come to the hustle of the Liberian people. So you will not have nobody telling you to bring your money to get grades, to bring extra teacher lunch or something like that, or to choose girls to be sleeping with. You try that thing in my school. Black white African American, I will flog you before I deport you. I will flog you before I deport you. You will not come to Liberia under my care and watch and be lawless because we are Africans. We'll teach you a stern and serious lesson that you take back to your country with you with a red ass or black and brown ass. Okay? So we ain't going to play that. We're not going to play that. That's why we have to build a respectable nation, a respectable, decent, law-abiding men and women. And I don't see that in Liberia. The time of the Congo people to return to our country, that we bought and own, and are the only one that can develop that country to civilization, to an educated, literate society, and to men and women of patriotism. It doesn't matter whether you come from a country. That's the Liberian way. But if you want to keep following these corrupt leaders, keep hating the indigenous people, the Congo people, for the same thing you did to us, and we have to protect ourselves against yours, you people who are in the majority, and you won't come against us now with this tyranny of the majority against us, try to scare us, intimidate us, bully us, insult us, our women. Let me tell you people something. We will not be bullied. Aluta! Continua. So just follow me for news on the descendants of African Americo-Liberian descendants, aka Congo people. We have never set our own organization like other tribal groups. They got the Nima Association, the Basso Association, the Crew Association, the Bandi Association, the Mana Association. Why they keep stopping us and being afraid of us forming the Americo-Liberian Association? Every time we go for, no, they're scared. Right now they're scared as I'm talking. They're petrified. Because a real Liberian is standing up and telling them, enough is damn well enough. The time of the true Liberian patriots is now. Let all those native giant, country giant, all the go in the bush where they belong. Let them go beat their women, steal everything from the people, and kill them like dogs to keep power. The native people, that's their culture. That's not our culture. We got to come back and weed you wicked, evil, juju, infested people, murderers under our country and government in the time of the Liberian people, under the command of Jesus Christ, is now. Aluta! Continue. Have a good day.
Soundstripe.
Just we are. Why say $6 billion go? Why 25 million? Don't be provide money for Liberian people, yeah? We suffer too much, no food to eat. The country get the young get down for aid. What do you steal people money? You will talk it. You will talk it. You will talk it. You can go around with talk it. You will talk it. Now I stay long with talk it. You will talk it. Prophet Key will talk it. Prophet Key was on the fastest. Don't talk it, papi. You will talk it. No food to eat. You will talk it. Make me crying. You will talk it. You are really claiming all. You will talk it. Echo reprehend. You will talk it. That's a travel crying. You will talk it. Gasoline pay off. You will talk it. For water. $10. You will talk it. plastic bag, that $10. Blue plastic bag, that $20. One cup of red, that $50. Country get here, very here. Everywhere you go, they say la propos. Anything in cash, they say la propos. More people dying, more people suffering. No good hospital. Liberia get it, government not get on. They not get on, government not get on. They not get on. Our 16 billion. What play go? Our 25 million. Our play go for country giant.